Actually a lot of fat in the orbital of your eye. I think we talked about this before. One, it's there for protection, right? Your eye sits inside your orbital cavity, and the fat's there to protect it. So in extreme states of starvation, what can happen is that fat is used for energy, and so your eyes sink back into your skull. So you'll see lots and lots of fat. That's the first thing you should see. But you'll also see the muscles, right? The muscles are going to appear brown, right? Now I can't tell if this is a superior rectus or lateral. I can't really get a good grasp of that.
Aren't cows a delicacy in some countries?
I wouldn't know. I don't, my gosh, I would be shocked, but I know the fish eyes are. But anyways, these are the muscles, okay? So let's go over the structures on the outside of the eye that we can all see. So remember, what's the white part of the eye, or the outside layer? So it's not white here, but what is it right here?
The fiber.
The fibrous tunic, which is made up of the sclera. Now the sclera is the major part of the fibrous tunic, but then it continues on to form this covering of the eye called the what? Cornea, okay? So there's the cornea, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my scalpel, and so I kind of visualize where the eye is gonna be, okay? It's again, it's gonna spherical, maybe a little oval shape here. But I'm gonna try to imagine cutting about 3/4 or a fourth towards the anterior side. Okay, so you have an anterior and posterior. So between the middle point and the anterior point, kind of in the between. Okay. To my knife, again, with the scalpel, they're hopefully sharp, because the sclera can be very thick. You are going to long slices. Scalpel's not very sharp. But eventually, I will get through the sclera. Once you get through the sclera, it's not so bad. If I keep cutting, cutting. Go. All right. So first off, I'll just keep cutting this whole thing through. Okay. What is this gelatinous material again called? See, it's like Jello, right? Doesn't it look like Jello? What is this gelatinous material called? Something humor. That's right. Okay. How about this? Is it aqueous humor or vitreous humor?
Vitreous.
Vitreous humor. Okay. This is the posterior chamber, right? Remember, the posterior chamber is behind or posterior to the lens. So this is the posterior chamber. So what I'm gonna do very, very carefully, you can already see it's kind of a problem here. I'm gonna remove that vitreous humor. Okay, and I'm being very careful because there's a layer that's very delicate right behind it. What I told you that was very delicate. That's
The retina.
the retina, okay? So if you look closely, you can kind of see. So I'm gonna remove this. There we go, we got rid of it. Okay, so there it is, there's a vitreous humor. You see this little brown tissue layer? It's very thin, right? I'm gonna take my blunt probe and I'm gonna kind of move it a little bit. Do you see that? Does everyone see that? Want to turn the lights on actually? Want someone to turn the lights on quick? All right, you see that this layer here, see how thin that is? I already poked a hole into it, right? This layer right here, this very thin layer, this is the retina. Okay, so it's thinner than tissue paper. This is where all the photoreceptors are going to be. So when you talk about cones and rods for color vision or just for light vision, this is where they are. Now, do you see how the retina, you see there's a point where they all kind of seem to congregate, or all the little nerve fibers all kind of congregate in this little spot right there? This spot right here, this is the optic disc. This is where all the blood vessels as well as the axons for the photoreceptors, they're all going to congregate right there. Okay, and remember the optic disc, what is behind the optic disc? Here, so let's see if I go behind here. Let's see if this, sometimes this works. And I'm going to try to go through this fat and figure out if I can find the optic disc or the optic nerve. So I'm going to go back here, and sometimes if you're lucky, there's not too much fat, you can get to the optic nerve. There it is. You see this right here, this nice round spherical thing. Trying to see that? So that's the optic nerve. So see a pin on that next week, you know that's the optic nerve, right?
Which one?
See this right here? See how I'm right here? This guy?
Oh, hold on, I think I looked at the wrong damn.
Right here, see this?
Oh.
Looks different, right? It doesn't look like the fat, it doesn't look like the muscle. It's something it's nice and round. That is your optic nerve. Okay. All right, so the retina. Okay, it's already puffing out, right? All right, so now what I'm gonna do, and so everyone see the retina, right? I'm gonna remove the retina. I'm gonna scrape it away. You can see just how delicate that is, right? There it goes. You can see, right? It kind of catches right there, the optic disc. Okay. Now do you see this kind of iridescent layer here? See how it's like very kind of pretty, right? Like a pearl, iridescent. Now we don't have this, right? This is for the cow or other mammals. It's called the tapetum lucidum. We don't have this. This is why if you ever go out at night and look with like a dog or a cat or a cow and the light shines in their eyes look green or blue. It's because the light is reflecting off this layer here. Back to your eyes, that's what you see is green or blue. It lets them see better at night. Okay, now we don't have that, right? Humans, you look someone's eye at night, they don't appear red or blue. They don't have that structure. So this is the tapetum lucidum. But what we do have is the choroid layer. So this black layer behind the tapetum lucidum is the choroid layer, that black layer. Okay? So if you look close, you can kind of see the sclera is this big thick layer right here, right? And then you can see, if you look closely, the black layer is the choroid layer. Sclera is much thicker. Okay? This structure right here, what is this? This is an easy one. That's the lens, okay? That's the lens. So here's some more right now. I'm gonna remove the rest of this vitreous humor quick. Oh, there goes the rest of the retina. Okay, so there's the retina. Now do you see here, do you see this serrated structure? Everyone look closely, this black serrated structure. What is that? Black serrated structure. Black serrated. Ora serrata. Ora serrata. Okay, so I have a pin there to ora serrata. Now, again, what connects the lens? What holds the lens in place?
The fibers.
The suspensory ligaments. Okay, you really can't see them, but if I take my lens and I try to like pull on it a little bit, and this is hard to see, and you have to really know what you're looking for. But if I pull on it, you can kind of see where it's kind of held together, kind of held down. So I'm pulling on it, and only I can see because I'm right up there. But you can kind of see the ligaments. If you look really close, especially when you get your probe on it, you kind of pull it up a little bit before you break it. Pull up a little bit, you'll see little white fibers that hold it in place. Those are suspensory ligaments. And they're connected to the ciliary bodies as well. Okay? But I'm gonna pull out that lens now, okay? I'm gonna pop it out. But you should definitely kind of look for those suspensory ligaments. Okay, now I'm not gonna label it on the cow eye because it'd be possible, way too small, but you should see them still. Pull out the lens. Okay. And there it is, right? Like a little marble. Okay.
The eye.
Oh my god.
You can see, right? It's kind of opaque, right? You'd think they'd be a little clearer than that, but it's a little opaque.
It's really hard.
It's really hard, yeah. I mean, you can take one of those sharp probes and you can, stab through it. But it's amazing how, this is the structure here. It's made by these crystalline proteins.
Stop touching it. Just stop touching it.
That's the lens, okay? It's kind of interesting structure. All right, now where my probe is, what chamber is this in right now? So it's the anterior chamber where the aqueous humor is inside the anterior chamber. Okay, but again, what I'm going to poke through here. This is the what? This is the cornea, right? This is the cornea. Nice thick cornea here.
That water on the tray, is that the aqueous?
This is still vitreous humor here.
No, that one.
Yeah, that's probably aqueous. It probably came right. I mean, it's not much in there. Came out. Now, where my probe is right here. What is this? What's right outside the part of the fibrous tunic? Pigmented layer.
Nodal.
Iris. So a lot of people struggle because again, the cow eyes doesn't look like a human eye. Human eyes, we can easily identify the pupil and the iris, but with the cow eye, their cornea is kind of a little more opaque. But if you look here, this is the iris right here, and then right here is the ora serrata. So make sure you see the differences there, because if I put a pin here versus here, these are two different structures, right? Ora serrata, the iris. And I believe that is everything. All right, so